Hey guys, welcome to another video on Brand Device where we talk about business and finance. My name is Bharat, and in this video, I want to do something different. I want to talk about the recent interview that Olaf Scholz, the Chancellor candidate of Germany from SPD, has given on a YouTube channel called Marvin Neumann. You can take a look at the entire interview with the link given in description. But here I want to talk about specific things from the interview which makes Olaf Scholz rather concerning candidate for being the Chancellor of Germany, because he already has some kind of very radical ideas. The first one was that he justifies that the long-term capital gains, which didn't used to be taxed previously in Germany, if you're holding something for more than 1 year or something, was taxed at a much lower level. He's now saying that it is so nice that it has been removed because this was a tax loophole. He does not understand that this is not a tax loophole but a way for people to kind of think about their future, to think about that they are not going to be a burden on the state and can take care of themselves, because you're incentivizing people that they invest in the stock market long term. But again, this guy doesn't understand that. He thinks that this was a tax loophole and he's very happy that this moved away. That's the first thing. The second thing that he wants to do is he wants to take away the Abgeltungssteuer. So the standard 26.375% tax that we pay on dividends, on receiving dividends, or when we are selling anything, what we pay on the profits, all of this should go away. And it should be replaced by your normal income tax. So whatever income tax rate you have, that means if you're earning above 254,000 euros or something per year, you are automatically at 45% or something. And not just 45%, because at that stage, you already have to put the Solidaritätszuschlag too. And when you calculate all of these different things, and you're a Christian person who is also paying the church tax in Germany, you're pretty much screwed, because the end taxes come somewhere around 61% or something like that. So this is a horrible deal, the way he's trying to take things, because right now whatever kind of money you still make from the dividends or from the capital gains tax, they are taxed at a flat 26.375%. It already is not a less amount of taxes that you're paying to the state. In Romania, where I'm living right now, I'm just paying 5% in taxes on the dividends, which is very, very nice. And generally, if you're getting it out from outside Romania, it's 10%. It's super less if you compare to what kind of taxes you're paying in Germany. And he still thinks that increasing it even further is a good idea. A lot of what Olaf Scholz generally speaks about, it is speaking about taking away from the rich, and that's pretty much it. He doesn't think about it would make a lot more sense that if he's able to provide more money to the people who are at the lower economic level, then just taking more and more money from the rich. In Germany, you become rich very quickly. As soon as you're earning 5,000 euros per month, you become rich. That's their story, and you start getting taxed at 42%. So this is something which is bad in the longer run. If you're taxing somebody so much more, all of the people who are creative and who have their own ideas, they're just going to move away. Recently, I've seen so many more people actually coming to Romania and setting up their companies. We have an entire Facebook group for that. In the Facebook group in Romania for entrepreneurs, we have almost 120,000 people. And in Germany, the largest group that I ever saw for entrepreneurs and stuff was just 12,000 or 20,000, something like that. That's it. Because you're not incentivized the same way in starting up your own business in Germany like you are in Romania. The kind of haggling you have to do with the Finanzamt. Right now, I'm in Romania, but still I'm getting letters from the Finanzamt in Germany because of one thing or the other. They do not send you the exact information about why they're sending you the fines, but they're more than happy to send out the fines. So I'm at a stage right now where I at least know that this is just a horrible decision, to kind of grow your business bigger in Germany. Of course, start your business and take it to a specific level. But once you're there, move. Because for Germany, you become rich very quickly. And you can work 7 days a week, but you will be working 3 or 4 days out of that week just for the German state because of the taxes that you owe them. Right now, I still have to work another at least 3 months so that I'm able to save aside the money that I owe to the German state for the 2020 year and pay them in taxes. This is just horrible. And then trying to do similar things also on people who are just thinking about their future, thinking about putting some money to the side for the pension or something. they're also like not incentivizing them. This guy is saying that it is a bad deal, you shouldn't do it, and we should tax everybody at the income tax level. Such a nice thing. Like, this is exactly like how you make everybody completely dependent on the state, and then when the state says you jump because you do not have an option. This is just like not a nice thing. The third thing which really disturbs me about this guy is that he wants to also like introduce the Finanztransaktionssteuer. So like whenever you're buying or selling stocks or something, you will be paying additional taxes. So he says, no, we will start with like very less. We will just start with 0.1% or something. And like for derivatives and stuff, we will start with just 0.01%. This was the idea. But all of us know that taxes never go away. Once they are introduced, you're pretty much screwed. It will be 0.1%, and afterwards it is going to be 1%, 5%, 10%, 19%. Because, like we will see in the interview, he tries to justify that the Finanztransaktionssteuer, like you're paying taxes, you're paying VAT and stuff on everything else that you buy. You buy books, you buy something else, you're paying taxes on it, and that is the VAT. Then why aren't you paying taxes when you're buying stocks? And this is such a stupid and ridiculous idea, because anyways, there's a heavy risk involved when you're buying something on the stock market. And he will make a lot more stupid arguments. Let's just like go into the video, otherwise I will just like sit down here and talk to you for the entire time. It doesn't really make so much sense. So I'll take this and we'll start.
Die Transaktionssteuer zielt in ihrer Ausgestaltung fast ausschließlich auf Privatanleger, die verstärkt Aktien zur Altersvorsorge nutzen, spart Derivate und Hochfrequenzhandel jedoch aus. Private Vorsorge wird immer wichtiger, also aktuell bei sinkenden Renten, und deswegen will Studentenfutter eben wissen, welches Ziel sie eigentlich konkret mit der Transaktionssteuer verfolgen.
So essentially like he's asking that, like, you know, you're trying to like do the Finanztransaktionssteuer and stuff, like what is your end goal? Like, what do you want to do with this? Because right now, when the pension rates are already decreasing. The story about pension rates. So Alina's grandparents, they worked the entire life. They worked for like 20, 30 years, and they worked till a later age. But the kind of like pension they're getting, you will laugh about it. Like, after working so long, you're like getting what Alina's grandma is getting, like 500 euros or something, 400 euros, 450 or something like that. And Alina's grandpa is getting like 1,200. That means if they would be living on some kind of rented place, they would be screwed right away, because you would be paying in Germany, in most of the cities or something, for a normal 60 square meter apartment, at least 500 euros or 600 euros. Like, that's the bare minimum. If you're in the east, of course, the prices are cheaper, but like when you're in the west and in the north, it's a lot more expensive. So pension is going down, and like everything is like kind of speaking against relying on the German state's pension fund completely. But my guy Olaf Scholz, he has something else in mind. Let's take a look.
Ich finde sehr interessant, dass es im Netz eine ganze Reihe von Leuten gibt, die in dem Augenblick, als es das erste Mal drohte, ernst zu werden mit der Erhebung einer Finanztransaktionssteuer, sich gemeldet haben. Und ich habe das Gefühl, dass da manche Argumente nicht stimmen, und würde manchen auch gern mal persönlich kennenlernen, nämlich was eigentlich die so machen. Das will ich gerne da ausdrücklich sagen.
Kennenlernen, das ist schwer umzusetzen jetzt, aber zumindest können Sie antworten auf das.
Ja, ich kann antworten. Ich will nur sagen, da sind welche, wo ich gedacht habe, das habe ich doch eben bei der Lobby des Aktienverbandes gelesen, und das ist jetzt in ein flauschiges Argument übersetzt worden. Also die meisten Aktien werden gekauft von großen Fonds. Und jetzt müssen immer Leute, die 4 Aktien besitzen und sich noch eine 5. kaufen wollen.
This is unreal. Like, the way he can like speak down on people who are like trying to like, you know, build their own wealth, it is unreal. And like he's talking about like the big funds of big fund managers and stuff, and then like somebody who is just having like 4 or 5 stocks. Dude, like 4 or 5 stocks, that's a very lousy argument. Like, either you could have like 4 stocks of Amazon, which translates to 10,000 euros, or you could have 4 stocks of Xiaomi, which like translates to somewhere around 12 euros, right? So this kind of like, I just like do not like the way he speaks. Like, this is unreal. Like, you cannot like talk about retail investors just like, yeah, the people who have like 4 stocks or something, they are complaining about it, and what we are trying to do is like trying to tax the bigger people, the rich people, and things like that. Like, let's
herhalten, eine Besteuerung dieser großen Aktienkäufer, die Milliarden jedes Jahr investieren, zu verhindern. Ich glaube, wir sollten uns die Sache einmal umgekehrt erklären. Es ist doch so, wenn ich ein Brötchen kaufe, dann muss ich Mehrwertsteuer zahlen. Wenn ich ein Buch kaufe, muss ich das tun. Für fast jedes Geschäft des Alltags muss ich eine solche Steuer entrichten. Mal höher, mal.
Yeah, but that is not nice. I mean, like, what kind of like real nonsense is this? Like, this guy is trying to justify the Finanztransaktionssteuer on the basis of the other things that you're paying taxes on. If you're paying taxes on this, why aren't you paying taxes on this? You should also pay taxes on this. And this is so unbelievably like stupid. I mean, when you're like buying something which you're consuming, you know what you're buying and you're getting it and you're using it. With stocks, you have an inherent risk involved. So, anyways, like when you're putting your capital at risk, afterwards, if you're also like paying tax to put your capital on risk so that you can take care of yourself in the future and you're not a burden on the German state, you're being taxed on that and you're like kind of punished for doing that. This is stupid. This is the most stupidest thing I've heard.
Niedriger, aber sie ist immer da. Und eine viel, viel, viel niedrigere Steuer, um die es hier geht, die ganz wenige Cent nur bei einem Aktienkauf in manchen Fällen auslöst.
That's what he's talking about, the 0.1% tax that he proposed.
Die soll jetzt dazu führen, dass man das Geschäft nicht tätigt, während man sonst Häuser, Autos, Brötchen, Bücher mit einer solchen Steuer belegt kauft. Ich glaube, das ist ein Lobbyistenargument von sehr kapitalkräftigen, sehr reichen Leuten, die Menschen, mit denen sie sonst nie wirklich persönlich reden und die ganz wenige Aktien haben, als Argument benutzen, um.
This dude is unreal. So he said like this is an argument of like really rich like lobbyist people who are like having a lot of money in stocks and things like that. But these guys are not going to run around on YouTube channels and will be making videos about why they're absolutely unhappy with the Finanztransaktionssteuer. Like, how do you come to like stuff like this? It's crazy. He's crazy.
Ihre Besteuerung zu verhindern. Tatsächlich ist es so, in Frankreich wird die Steuer erhoben, in Großbritannien wird die Steuer erhoben, in Italien wird die Steuer erhoben, in Spanien wird die Steuer erhoben. Bei uns nicht. Und die Frage ist, warum machen wir das nicht? Ich sage, weil da mächtige, reiche Lobbyisten hinterstecken, die das verhindern.
Die mächtige, reiche Lobbyisten. So that is pretty much the powerful, rich lobbyists are sticking behind this argument and stuff. I just like grab my forehead with this. Like when everybody, like if you would scroll down in the YouTube like comments and stuff, you will see that people are just unhappy with this because there are a lot of people, like in Germany, I think you have around like 1 million people at least, who are also like investing in the stock market in one way or the other. And these are the people who will also be affected by this. It's not just about the institutional investors who are buying billions of euros of stocks or millions of euros of stocks, but the people who are also like setting up a savings plan for 25 euros. If you're setting up a plan for like 25 euros and stuff, and like again, you're paying taxes on that, which starts with 0.01% right now or 0.1% right now, but it will keep on increasing because everything which is supposed to be taxed in Germany generally increases. Well, throughout the world actually, like once you impose a tax, it rarely ever goes down. In Romania, I'm very surprised that like previously, like till 2017, the dividend tax used to be 16%. So like once you have your private limited, you get the profits, and then when you're getting the profits out to yourself as a private person, you pay 16% tax. They reduced it to 5%. And people are moving now. And this is how they have been like able to get a lot of people. I do not believe Romania is going to keep up with this. I do not think it is going to stay 5% for a long time in the future. It is going to change because when governments see that, okay, here's more money and we can take more money out, things change. But when they change, I'm going to move again because like I want to be in a place which gives me more freedom. And right now, Romania is that place. Germany is no longer that place, like which just lets you do with your money whatever you want to do.
Die das verhindern und die Macht hatten, immer wieder auf andere zu drücken, dass das verhindert wird. Und das komischste Argument in dieser Sache, das ist, ja, wir machen das gerne, sagt mein Koalitionspartner, aber nur, wenn Europa viele mitmachen. So.
The problem with this kind of like speech is that like you see that this guy is like trying to talk to the masses. He's trying to talk to the people who think that rich people are rich because they took the money from the poor people, and they are, I don't know, like that if you take the money from the rich people in form of taxes, that the poor will get benefited. But it never happens. Once it reaches the German state, it reaches the fund. So Germany generates sufficient amount of money in taxes, but the poor people, they still do not see it. And they will start seeing it when you make the payroll taxes lower, when you maybe make the health insurance lower, you make any kind of this Lohnsteuer, so the income tax and everything that you're paying already before even you get the money, that thing less. They will see more money. And when they see it, for companies, it is also beneficial because they will be able to pay them more money. Right now, for example, when I was hiring my first employee in Germany, I was paying her X amount, but on top of that, I had to put aside 25% of the money. So it was costing me 1.25x. But the amount that my employee was actually receiving was just around 0.75x or like 0.7x or something like that. And this is so, like, it's not nice. I mean, like, you're doubling the burden on like both sides, and then you really think that like why the divide is getting bigger and bigger. Whereas instead of thinking that, okay, like let's take the money from the rich people and like kind of like, you know, put it in taxes, they have to understand like that this is not how it would work. The best way to go about this is to empower the people who are at the lower economic level to also like, you know, help them make more money. So train them for better jobs and things like that. Because money is not a zero-sum game. This is what many people get wrong. There's not a finite amount of money which is in the world. And it's a pie that like some people have this, some people have this. And then in the end, it could be zero if you do not like, you know, take enough money out. What you have to see is that like the governments, they keep on printing money every single day. There's enough amount of money in the world. You just have to be smart enough, you have to be skillful enough, and you have to be valuable enough to make that money, to bring a portion of that money which is being printed to yourself. And this is an important like kind of thing that people like him have to understand. I mean, they understand that, of course. Like they see money like more than anybody else, and they try to talk like they're the poorest people on the planet, and they understand like how the poor people think and what their problems are, but they don't. I will show you another comment here which like pretty much says that like what is happening from stories like these is that the people are just being incentivized to go abroad. Many people from Germany, when they reach a sufficient level, they just move away, if they can move away, right? Because many times you have restaurants, you have some kind of like physical places where you cannot move your business, but the people who are like doing something online, they just move away afterwards, and you're missing out on all of the tax money that they would have given to you otherwise. No? I was still like kind of safe because I was on tax liable in Germany for 10 years. Because if you're tax liable in Germany for 10 years, you also have to pay an expatriation tax if you have a private limited. I didn't have any of these. I came to Germany in 2016. I left Germany on 25th Feb 2021. Like we were in Romania and like we did our entire deregistration and everything directly. So it was like around 5 years. So that's why I'm still happy that I did not fall into those kind of like loopholes, but this is not going into the right direction if like we have people like him as the chancellor candidate.
Machen. So, da ja Frankreich schon mitmacht und Belgien schon mitmacht und Italien schon mitmacht und Spanien noch schon mitmacht und damit der größte Teil des Handels abgedeckt wäre, wenn auch wir noch mitmachten, muss man jetzt Länder, in denen es kaum einen Aktienhandel gibt, wie die Slowakei oder Slowenien, überzeugen, dass sie auch mitmachen, damit mein konservativer Koalitionspartner sagen kann, ja, dann können wir es machen. Die Wahrheit ist, das ist ein vorgeschobenes Argument. Sie wollen das, was selbstverständlich ist und auf der halben Welt, wo viele Aktien gehandelt werden, das ganz Normale, und zwar auch Ländern, in denen gar nicht das Steuerzahlen sonst so üblich ist, das wollen sie dort nicht. Und ich sage nochmal, es sind mächtige Lobbyisten, die hinter dieser Kampagne und diesen Argumenten stecken.
Mächtige Lobbyisten. Alright, so I think like you can watch the entire like, you know, interview on Marvin Neumann's channel. So it's a very interesting interview, and this is also, I believe, why if you're living in Germany, you should definitely learn German, because it makes your understanding of things much, much better. You're more involved in like what is happening, and you can understand the policies better. Because the way like this is going, this is not nice. Because this is just like kind of like bringing in mind of people that, yes, like, you know, these evil rich people, like they are the reason why you're poor. But like that's not the case. The rich people got rich because they got skillful and they were able to figure out a way how they can generate enough value and how they can charge people enough money so that they're able to get to a place where they are. This is not taking from the poor. Like, there is nothing like that. There is money being printed every single day. So there's not a finite amount that you have 100 euros and these 100 euros can either go to this person or to this person or to this person. Nope, that's not how it works. You take 100 euros away, 100 euros will come more, and you take that away. You know, like it just works like this. But you guys have to be careful for sure. I mean, like with these kind of scenarios, I think like it does make sense that people who are able to kind of like move away even for a while. If you think about this logic, so just as an example, for us living 1 year in Germany where we are paying 43% in taxes would be equivalent to living 43 years in Romania where we are paying 1% in taxes. This is how crazy the difference is. In Germany, you're just like, you know, taught to be rich very quickly. The Finanzamt, they are like nothing less than a spy bureau which is trying to just like take a look at everything that you do and like trying to ask you about every transaction that you did. This much of like going inside my business is something that I just absolutely like really hate, and this is the common problem with most of the countries which are in the West. So you have, of course, Germany, you have Denmark, you have France, you have Spain, and all of these countries, like tax-wise and the amount of like stuff they offer in return, like it is, I don't know, like I do not see a value in that. In Romania so far, like we have had nice experience with the medical stuff. Doctors are nice somehow, like even though people say, yeah, the health insurance system and everything. I mean, like who cares about the health insurance system and countries like these? I mean, I'm from India, so health insurance is anyways, like it was not something that was a granted for me. Like we don't have health insurance. If we have something, we go to the doctor, we pay the doctor for it, and like we get the stuff done. So in those regards, I don't see a huge difference in Romania. We have been able to like get decent health support also because we had COVID now recently, and the doctors and everything, they were super nice. They were super helpful. And then with the taxes and stuff, with not getting anything in your post box, which is so unbelievably beautiful, because in Germany, every single week when I open the post box, like when Alina's grandpa like sends me now the photographs from the post box, like whatever stuff I receive from the Finanzamt or something, I'm just scared that like this is going to be another problem that I have to now solve. Because you get letters from Finanzamt, you get letters from the Krankenkasse, you get letters from like all sorts of stuff, and this is like just not nice. In Romania, nothing like that. So you guys have to be a bit more careful, and I would still say that, like, you know, invest further, because anybody who believes that you can just rely on the state for them to give you money in the end when you're older, like this is a very like stupid way of handling things, because the pension, it is already going down. So like even if you think about it, if the pension even stays same, right, which is not possible because there are lesser and lesser people who are working right now than like ever before, and there are more and more older people, right? So even if the pension, they're able to keep it the same, the prices are still increasing, and there will be an inflection point where you're like, it is no longer possible for me to pay for these kind of things. And there is the point when you will start thinking that, okay, it might have been better to just like directly take care of all of these things when I was young on my own with some like, you know, stock investments, with real estate investment whatsoever. So think about these things. Don't fall into the trap of like these political, let's say, speeches, because this was a political speech and you should like treat it as such. I will put the link for the complete interview in the link below, and also you can read more about the Finanztransaktionssteuer, and you can read more about his idea of removing the capital gains tax and putting it as the normal income tax. Also, like all of these things you can like read on Google, but in general, like I definitely find it very concerning and something you guys should be aware about too. If you have any kind of questions whatsoever, you can write it down in the comment section below. I also offer one-on-one appointments, so if you have any kind of questions regarding business or finance, investment whatsoever, you can also set up a call with me. The link for that is also going to be in the description. Thank you so much for watching again. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.